everyone, my name is Chloe, and today I am here to do a try a chapter tag. So, if you guys don't know, I am really trying this year to read off my shelves. So these are my TBR shelves, and they are full, and we are trying to move sometime as soon as we can find a house. And so I'm really motivated to get books off my shelf. So one of these shelves, this shelf right here, is all books that I can only read physically. They are not available digitally anywhere else. This shelf has digital copies available. So I went through my Goodreads and sorted it by the average rating. And I'm going to try a chapter for the 5 lowest books on my physical shelf. So I did not choose if it was going to be physical or both or what. It just so happens that all 5 of these I can only get physically, but that's neither here nor there. Let's just get into the lowest 5 books. So starting with the lowest of the low is Her by Harriet Lane. I think this cover is so intriguing, but it's a 2.83. It says, "You don't remember her, but she remembers you." And I think this is about 2 women. They are unrelated, but they're both young moms. They cross paths and they're somehow connected. And I just love stories like that. And so I marked out the pages, and it's told from both perspectives. So I'm going to read one from each woman. And I mean, that's only 20 pages. So there's this one. And then is A False Sense of Well-Being by Jean Brazelton, and this is also a 2.83, so this is tied right down there. But this is I think about a woman in kind of a midlife crisis situation. There's a quirky cast of characters. I don't know what this is about, honestly, but we'll see. Next is Smart versus Pretty by Valerie Frankel, and this is a 3.05. And just the title alone leads me to guess why this is probably problematic. This is a 2001 book, and it's kind of in the vein, it seems like, of all those other books that were coming out about that time. It's a chick lit, really lighthearted, probably really superficial, and potentially problematic, but we'll see. Next is Waiting to Surface by Emily Listfield. And this one is a 3.05. And this one is about a woman who gets a call that her husband is gone missing or something. And so it's her trying to figure out what happened to her husband. And then the last one is December by Elizabeth Winthrop. And this one has on the back, it says the Killarney Bookshop, which means that I got this when I was in Ireland. And I have not been to Ireland in 12 years, I don't think. So I have had this on my shelf a long time. And this is a 3.12. And this one is about a girl, I think a young girl, who is selectively mute, but then her life kind of starts falling apart. Her school has been letting her do online schooling, and they're about to expel her because she's not doing things or something. And there's just a lot of family drama going on, and she kind of has to decide, does she break the silence or not? So all of these have relatively short chapters, except this guy. This one is, let's see, 51 pages in the first chapter. So you guys, I have started to film this before, and I stopped because I read the first chapter and it was 35 pages of a book. And so I just read the whole book, and now here we are, 50 pages. So I don't know if I'll read the entire first chapter, but I will definitely come back with you and let you know what I think. So my plan is hopefully today to read all of these during nap time and then come back and tell you my thoughts on them, as well as the order in which I think I'm going to like them. And then I'll probably do a follow-up where I actually read them. I don't know if I'll get all 5 first chapters read today, but that's the goal. And I will just check in book by book as I do it. I think I'm going to go in order of lowest to highest, even though they're all so low. So, and the one that's calling to me the most is Her by Harriet Lane. And that is the lowest, tied for the lowest. So I will check in and let you know my thoughts. Hey everyone, so it's almost dinner time, and I just actually read the first chapter because nap time did not go as planned. I edited a few videos, and then the kids got up earlier than I anticipated. So I just read the first 2 chapters of Her by Harriet Lane. So this is told from dual perspectives. So I read one from each perspective, and it's about Nina and Emma. And Nina, really, we don't know a whole lot. This is a thriller, so we don't know like how they're connected or really anything. And I feel like the writing style, I can definitely see how this would be hard, because it's like she starts talking about things that you're like, wait, who's that, or what's going on? And so I'm sure if you get through it, it'll all come together. And like even within, so Nina's chapter was like 10 or 12 pages. And by the end of it, like I think I know everybody who she was talking about, but she knows Emma. Emma doesn't know her. And so I don't know how or how they're connected or anything like that. But the relationship has been started. And then Emma is a mom to a 2.5-year-old, and she is pregnant. And she is just like mommy burnout, overload, like kind of probably some postpartum depression or anxiety or something going on. And so there's that. And yeah, the writing style, like I said, is just one that you really kind of have to focus, because it jumps from here to there and you're not sure how it got there. And so I'm not like, I wouldn't immediately unhaul this, but I'm not super excited to pick it up either. So I don't know how many more chapters I'll get read tonight, but I will definitely just continue to update as I read the first chapter. Okay, so it is almost bath time and all that. It's after dinner, so I sat down and read one more chapter. I read I read 2 chapters in this too. A False Sense of Well-Being by Jean Brazelton. I read the first 2 chapters because the first one was like 3 pages, and I think this is pretty short chapters, like less than 10 pages each. So that is really like exciting and definitely something I can get on with. So in the first chapter, it's this woman. Her name's Jessie. It doesn't say her age, but I'm guessing she's like middle aged, and she's having fantasies of her husband dying, and not in like she doesn't want him to necessarily, but she just can't stop envisioning different scenarios in which he could die. And then in the second chapter, her best friend says she is cheating on her husband with a young guy that works in the department store. And so she confesses, like, I'm having all these fantasies about my husband dying. So I don't know. I think this one definitely, like, the writing style has me intrigued. I'm instantly kind of interested because this woman, she just sounds funny. And so this one so far, so good. I definitely like this one better than her, just based on the very beginning. So this one I would be like eager to continue. So I will check in after I read the next one. Hey everyone, so it is a little bit later. The kids are in the bath with Jeremy right now, so I just read another chapter of another book. So I read the first chapter in Smart versus Pretty by Valerie Frankel, and this is about 2 sisters, one of which has always been kind of the smart one, and one has been the pretty one. One of them, the smart one, like their parents encouraged her to get A's and then got on her when she got B's. The other one, her parents like talked about how pretty she was and got on her for gaining weight, which yikes. But they have like long since filled these roles of one's smart, one's pretty. And they own a coffee shop together that they've owned since their parents died almost a year ago. So they own this coffee shop, but next door, a like kind of big chain coffee shop has gone in, and so their business is going under. So they're just kind of talking about things. The smart one obviously is the one who knows all the finances, because that's how it is. And so then somebody comes into their coffee shop and she's like, hey, I'm about to graduate from business school. I really think I could help you guys. You've got a great building here. Like you've got a great setup. So let me help you. And they say, okay. So they are going to let her help them get this business off the ground. So the fact that it's about a coffee shop, I really like. Like I said, just from the title and from the first chapter, I imagine there's going to be some problematic things, but I don't know for sure. So we will just see. So far, I would say this is second. So I'm most interested in A False Sense of Well-Being. And then this Smart versus Pretty. And then her. So we'll just see how the last 2 go. And then, like I said, my plan is to read all of these and follow up, but we'll see if it happens. I don't really know. So that is it. I will check in. It'll probably be tomorrow morning before I read the other 2, just because now the kids are about to get out of the bath, which means I'll put Annie down and then put Ainsley down, and then probably just go to bed, you guys. I'm tired. So, yeah, I will check in tomorrow. Hey everyone, so it is the next day and I have finished the last 2 chapters and I'm honestly kind of surprised. So the first one I read was Waiting to Surface by Emily Lisfield, and this one is about a woman who drops off her daughter and then finds out her husband is disappeared. They had been in a troubled marriage, and so he had gone to Florida. And then she gets a call that he had a mistress or something there, and he is presumed drowned, but they don't have a body. And he's just disappeared. He left the mistress's house and then has not been seen since. So, the premise sounds really good of this, but okay, first of all, the pages are huge and super, that's a lot of words on the page. Second of all, you get every detail of everything. So we're getting, she goes to work and we find out about her coworker, and we find out about her boss, and we find out about the history of the magazine she works for. And truthfully, the first chapter was 25 pages, and I read 16 and then skipped to the last 2 or 3 and read those. Because it was just feeling so daunting, and the pages are so big that it took me forever to read the pages that I did. So I don't know, I looked, and this is available on ebook from Hoopla and Scribd, and I don't really like to read ebooks on either of those services. I really like it when it can be Kindle, because then I can read with my eyes, I can have Alexa read to me, whatever, and that's not an option on those things. So I don't know, and really I prefer to read physically over ebook, but I may pick this up on ebook just because the pages are so huge, it's so daunting, and I just don't know, I'm still really interested in the premise, but I don't know if the super detailed writing style is going to be for me. So there's that one, and then the other one that I read was December by Elizabeth Winthrop. And this one, the first chapter was 55 pages. So I just read the first 20, and so far so good. So this is about a couple that, I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell context if they live, I'm guessing they live somewhat rural. I know it's in the New England area in winter, and because he's gathering wood and stuff, and it talks about modern day things, they go to the grocery store and buy Cheez-Its and stuff, and yet they're gathering wood, and she talks about days when the furnace is out or the heat is out, and so she's making a big batch of soup, so they'll have something to heat up. So I'm not really sure context of time or location, but this is about a couple, and they've got a 11-year-old, I think, daughter who is for some reason mute. And so the mom is kind of questioning, did I do something to make her this way? Because she's gone to doctors. They can't figure it out. They don't think it's autism or Asperger's or anything like that. They really have no idea what is going on with this little girl. And so we do get both the mom and dad's perspectives, and I think that is really interesting. And this one, although it's long and really long chapters, it goes so much faster. It took me probably half the time to read this 20 pages as it did to read the other 20 pages. So there's this one. So now I'm going to tell you in order of how I think I'm going to like them, and then maybe we'll have a follow-up video. I don't really know. The idea of reading 5 probably mediocre at best books is a little daunting. And it may take me a little while. So if you do get a follow-up, it'll probably be a long time. But we'll see. I don't know if you guys can hear the wind in the background. I'm not in the wind, but I'm outside and there's a lot of wind. So here's the order that I think I'm going to like them. So first is A False Sense of Well-Being. This one's by Jeanette Brazelton. This is the one about the woman who keeps fantasizing about her husband dying, and she's got a quirky best friend. I think it's just kind of a midlife crisis situation. This one, the writing style was good. It flowed really fast, and so I think I'm going to like this one the best. Then, I don't know, either Smart versus Pretty by Valerie Frankel. This one, again, the writing style was pretty good, and it's about 2 sisters trying to save a coffee shop, and I love coffee shops. I love sister stories, so this one maybe is next. And then probably December, just because this one almost gave me like Jodi Picoult vibes or something, like where you're trying to figure things out. So I'm guessing it's not going to be to that caliber, but maybe. So we'll see. The good thing about all of these is my expectations are so low that like it can't really disappoint me based on expectations. So then I'm going to say Her by Harriet Lane. And this one, like I said, the writing style is a little weird. There's kind of a lot thrown at you without really knowing how everything connects. And if I feel too stupid in a book, I kind of just disengage and don't want to read it anymore. So hopefully this makes sense. And then last is Waiting to Surface. I just think the like dauntingly large pages and the excessive detail I think will be hard to get through, but I do really want to know what happened to her husband. So I don't know, we'll see. So if I had to guess, that would be the order that I would say that I like them in. And yeah, I may read them as the months go on. I may just put them back on my shelves because none of them are ones that I feel like I don't want to give this a shot. I'm gonna DNF it. So we'll just see. I'll give them all an effort. Maybe do a follow-up video. Maybe not. No promises. And let me know if you have read any of these books, if there is some that I should really prioritize. And regardless, this was my first try a chapter, and I kind of like it. I feel a little bit like I wasted time because, especially if I don't pick up these books right away, then I spent the time reading them for nothing. But especially because it didn't really like inform me on getting rid of stuff. But it did make me think like I'm interested in all of these, so that's good. So let me know if you've read them. Let me know your thoughts on try chapter tags, and we'll talk to you in the next one.